It's Chiefs Chat with the guys. How was your Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving was good. I worked quite a bit of hours. Got to spend time with my son and chill out. Then I had to go to work. And I watched the Chiefs game, Chiefs and Dallas game. Chances are pretty slim that the Chiefs make the playoffs. I don't think they will. This is not going to be a year. This is going to be a down year. And am I disappointed? Yeah, I'm disappointed. But I'm thankful for the last 7 years. I mean, winning 3 out of 5 Super Bowls, being in an AFC championship game, every year with Patrick Mahomes. So let's talk about the game first, and we'll get into, we'll get into the playoff picture here. So the game started out pretty good. Interception, then 2 plays, offense takes it in for a touchdown, and then it started a little back and forth. I thought Andy Reid went away from the run in this game. Didn't show enough of it. Offensive line, to me, was below average. Did not protect Patrick Mahomes. And I think Patrick Mahomes played a A- game. Had 4 touchdowns. And he made something out of nothing on some plays. He kept us in the game as far as offense, but at the same time, the offense disappeared. Second and third quarters. They're kind of non-existent, no points. To me, every game is like a playoff game. In the playoffs, I think that these teams are so equal, a lot of them anymore, that you have to score at least 3 points every quarter to keep in the ball game, if not touchdowns. And so they didn't do that. I want to talk about this only one time in this video and let it go. This is not the main reason we lost the game, but people think over the years that the Chiefs have been blessed with having referees. And if I was any get out of a visual stuff, I could go break down the film and say, look, we got cheated out on these plays all these years. I've seen missed calls for us too, but if you're a hater, you're a hater and you don't care. You'll make any excuse if your team loses. And it's always, win or lose, it's always the referee's fault because you're not a Chiefs fan. And I don't give it shit. I don't feel sorry for you and your team at all. So I don't expect you to feel sorry for me when I said this, that the Cowboys, they were trying to help them out because they're America's team. Shitty ass calls, weak calls. There were several. Didn't help us out. But however, that's not the reason we lost. It didn't help. But it was certainly obvious who they were trying to help. So we can sit here and go and talk about it all day, go back and forth. I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. Because in the end of the day, you have to overcome that. If you're a good team, you'll overcome these things. And the Chiefs are just not good enough right now. Let's start out with offense. Simmons, our left tackle, rookie, he's getting his ass handed to him this game. But most of the year, he's been pretty good. He's a rookie. So he's going to have his growing pains. I'm not too upset about that. However, he broke his wrist. So I think he's probably out the rest of the year or close to it. That sucks. And then Jonathan Taylor, or Taylor on the other side, right tackle, hurt, out. And then you got Trey Smith hurt. So you got 3 of your offensive linemen gone. So even if you make the playoffs, your offensive line is destroyed. You won't get very far. You'll have a repeat of last year. If you don't have an offensive line, you play a team like an Eagles, and they'll just pin their ears back and bury you. So that's not good. So they didn't stick to the running game, so D- on that. When they got it, they did good. It wasn't the running backs themselves. It's just the play calling. Play calling, F on offense. Too many delayed handoffs. Hand it off, understand it. And Andy Reid, we all can see it. One of the best coaches of all time, but you are stubborn. Andy Reid is stubborn when it comes to that. Somebody suggested that I'm already looking at next year. Because even if they make the playoffs, I don't think they'll get out of the first 2 rounds. So they don't do very good on the road. I'm not saying give up. Don't give up. But that's where I'm just being realistic. So I'm already looking at next year. You need to get a dynamic running back only if you change the offense a little bit. And me personally, if you want to prolong Patrick Mahomes' career where he's not taking a constant beating and getting his ass beat, you need to go to West Coast offense. Hand it off under center. Look at Joe Montana, what he did with it. And Joe Montana, to me, is one of the top 3 easy quarterbacks, in my opinion. He's smart, gets rid of the ball quick, and goes through his reads on time and makes, in the pocket, makes something out of nothing. In the pocket. I don't know if he can't scramble like Mahomes and do all that weird arm angles and stuff like Mahomes. However, that should only be saved for playoff time or if you are being flushed out of the pocket. All right? It shouldn't be every day, every other play. And that's what it seems to be the last 2 or 3 games. And look at him, he's limping around because he's not offensive line, banged up, and the play calling. How you save him is the running game and change the offense a little bit. Because not only that, the other teams know what you're going to do now. Know exactly what you're going to do. So they don't know the off-script plays, but they know what you're going to do. So you got to change it up next year. Because you have the skill positions players to do. You have the receivers. But who's going to be there next year? We don't know that. You need to try to keep Thornton. You need to try to get Rice long-term deal. I don't mind them trying to get Hollywood Brown back. But, again, you have to do something a little different, at least, if not change the offense. I don't know if Andy Reid's going to do that. On to the special teams. Too many penalties. They played a little bit better. Becker, not too bad. The punters, Ariza is real good. Of course, when you say that, you don't want to say that because he's punting all the time. So, I give them C+. Defensively, Chris Jones needs help. He can't be the only one getting to the passer. And then he's getting knocked around, almost get there, but he doesn't because nobody else is helping him out. Needs help. Needs another pass rusher to keep them honest. Got to have at least 2 or 3 pass rushers on that line. There's nobody else. George Karlaftis is okay. But he gets here because of second effort in his motor, not because of his first move. He's somebody out that can dominate like that. And if you put him along with Chris Jones, that'll change that whole effing defense. It will. I noticed that at first I was like, why is Chris Jones? Because he's being double, triple teamed. But he can't do it by himself. You shouldn't expect him to. It's a team sport. Get another pass rusher. I don't know what to say about this. You're not sacking the quarterback. You're not getting to the quarterbacks. You're not going to go to a Super Bowl like that. Sorry. Secondary. What happened to Trent McDuffie? Got his ass kicked yesterday. He looked like shit. Normally he doesn't. But what happened to him? What happened to the secondary? I know they're good receivers, but damn, man. I can knock them on their ass. You know what I'm saying? I know the refs were screwing you, but still, you gotta. I don't know. I don't know if it's because you 5 games removed from playing Indy, but you're tired and you had to travel. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be an NFL player, but I'm just saying it's not. You didn't play your normal game. So F, or D. I'll give him a D, not quite F, because D. I mean, they couldn't stop him. Couldn't get off a third down. Anytime they make good positive plays to get them third long, they couldn't stop them. They couldn't get don't quit putting our linebackers in coverage. They can't cover, they couldn't cover anybody. Couldn't cover a tight end. Anytime they'd push Dak back, Prescott, somebody would come out from the line, sit there in the middle of the field, and he'd throw it to him. Get the first down. And every time, it's the same play over and over again. Can't figure that out? I don't know. Maybe Spags just don't have the players. It's just an off year. It's just a messed up year. Not going to win every year. I would think you'd get to the playoffs at least. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I mean, if you look at the playoff race, it's pretty. There's a lot of competition. You've already lost to the Jaguars. You lost to Denver, so you got a tiebreaker in Chargers. I mean, you had a chance to split it with them, but I don't know. That's going to be tough. Both of those are at home. That's cool. Then you got the Texans. You play them in about 10 days. And they're at home. You got to beat them, otherwise it's definitely over with. Play Titans. You should win that, but that's one of those trap games as far as I'm concerned. Then you play the Raiders. You should kick their ass, but again, that's a division game. You can come out there cocky and get your ass stomped. I don't know. I just don't see it. Lost to the Jaguars. They have the tiebreaker. Lost to the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so this time, usually when you beat the Buffalo Bills, they win the regular season championship. This time, that might be a game that helps them, pushes them into the playoffs because they would get the tiebreaker over you. So that's Jaguars, Bills. Those two have got the tiebreaker over you. And they're in the race. And now, Pittsburgh going back and forth with their division, back and forth to the Ravens. Don't know what they're going to do. They lost yesterday against Cincinnati. It's really teams that you think that should be winning the divisions, like the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, are not doing it. They're not. That's just showing that the skills of every team is really matching up. So later this week, I'll do more. I'll look at the divisions more and do another show on the playoffs and see where we're at with it. 6-6. And kind of go through the divisions, but it didn't surprise me. You have issues when you're when you let's go back to the Indy game, then the Indianapolis game. When you are double time, have more time than them, their stats are bigger than them. You should have beat them more by 3 points. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you should just win by double digits. There's no excuse. You shouldn't almost lose and you have to win in overtime. See, here's my thing. I'm not saying lay down and take it up the rear and tank these next games, but it would be nice to get some draft picks because we've always 31 or 32 for draft pick, first round, second round, third round. It's always at the end of the lane there. It would be nice to be, top 10 picks through the whole draft. Then you can get some really kick-ass pass rushers, running back, offensive linemen. You can do that, and that would be cool. But what I'm afraid of is they're going to win out, and then they won't make the playoffs, and we won't get any good draft picks. Or we get beat in the first round or whatever. Because even if, right, they can, if you base it off the years prior, can go and get on a run. But there's nothing this year that says, hey, we're going to flip the switch. It can't win more than 2 in a row or 1 in a row, and then they lose. So, this not very good continuity on this team. You got Patrick Mahomes, Neil Smith, Travis Kelce that care, but they can't be the only ones that do it. They're star players. But to me, my opinion is, and you can put in the comments if you disagree with me, but it's not like basketball where, Stephen Curry one player can take over a game and he can just, you need to have defense and stuff like that, but if he hits, 6 threes in a row and you get some stops in between there, you're going to go on a run. You have to have some help. Your offensive line needs to give you more than 2 seconds to throw the damn ball and not end up running around and jumping over tackles and then throwing it to the middle field where Worthy was at that one play. And that was all Mahomes and Worthy. His offensive line was crap that play. You got to be able to do that. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. So that way I'm just going to enjoy watching a football game. That's where I'm at right now. If they can flip a switch, that's great, but they have too many hurt players at this point in the offensive line, and that and a defensive line can't get to the quarterback. So you're two either, one of your lines is hurt and they're not performing very high. Defensive line's not performing very high. Both of those lines need to be a B+ or A every game from here on out to really make a run. Because if you don't have that, then the rest of it, they would have to play out of their minds. And another thing, how many interceptions are they going to drop? Nick Bolton, man, you had a couple. Both the last 2 games. How many times are you going to drop a ball? The fumble. Didn't recover that. 4 Chiefs player, one guy from Dallas, and he gets it. Come on, man. I don't know. Anyways, those are the keys to winning. Or those are the keys that reason you lost, and those to improve on that, the keys to winning out. All right. So even with some of the starters being on the offensive line, you really need a plus performance from your offensive line. And you're playing the Texans next that just beat the crap out of the Bills and Josh Allen. That's going to be tough, man. I said the only thing that they have going for them is that they're at home, and they seem to play better at home. But don't be surprised of an upset. Now, if they can go out there and get a 10-point win, that's good. 14-point win, then we might be talking, but that's at home. Can they go on the road and perform the same way? Don't know. Anyways, subscribe, like, join my station. We'll talk more about the upcoming game, the Texans game. I want to see if there's any more injuries that come out or anything that happens. See what if they bring in anybody to help out. That may be the key. They may have to bring some players in to help out. We'll see what happens here within the next couple of days. Go Chiefs. Enjoy the rest of your holidays.